Good evening, folks, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Andy Crisafulli. I'm the athletic director here at Joseph Case High School, and I welcome you to the 2017 Athletic Awards Banquet for our fall season. I'd like to thank administrators, parents, and family members and student athletes for what has been a very memorable fall athletic season. We're going to be celebrating the many accomplishments of not only our teams, but many individuals. Now, before we begin tonight's program, on behalf of the entire athletic department, I'd like to thank the following people for their unwavering support of our program. First is our principal, Brian McCann. Our assistant principal, Chris Costa. Our athletic trainer, Russell Boardman. The Friends of the Cardinals for once again sponsoring our potluck supper. Now, this 2017 fall season has been a theme of many firsts. This is our first season in participating in the new South Coast Conference, which has accepted a 10th member in Somerset Berkeley and split into two divisions, one large and one small, now called the Gold and the Blue. It's the first season that we've had 5 teams qualify for our state tournaments, the MIA state tournaments, and 1 team qualified for regionals. This is the first season that our boys soccer team was victorious over Somerset Berkeley to once again bring back our Cabral Cup. That can be seen in the main hallway in the trophy case. It's the first season that we had 8th graders participating in field hockey. It's the first season that we hosted an MIAA football playoff game in 25 years. And finally, this is the first sports banquet presented in the middle of a drama set. So while I'm on that specific theme, if you are called up, please use that stairwell because over here is going to be very difficult. Now, to assist me with this evening are 8 varsity coaches of our fall athletic program, which I will introduce them as they present. Our coaching staff spend countless hours committed to our student athletes, while many times putting their families, personal health, and relationships second during these 3 months. I thank each and every one of them for their commitment to our student athletes and our athletic program. Now, we have a rather lengthy program this evening, and if you'd like to follow along using those gold papers in the back, you can follow our itinerary of the order of events. Our first presenter this evening will be our field hockey coach, Casey Martell.
All right. Hello, everyone. On behalf of the field hockey team, we'd like to thank Mr. Crisafulli, Mr. McCann, and Mr. Costa for their support of the program, as well as Mr. Silvera and Mr. Robidoux for supporting the program and allowing us to have the junior high waiver that Mr. Crisafulli was just talking about. A big thank you to Mr. Boardman, who works tirelessly all season long. We would also like to thank all of our athletes' parents for supporting the girls and traveling near and far to all of our games. Coming into this 2017 season, we had 6 returning players and 15 new players. That's 15 student athletes who have never played a field hockey game. Including in those 15 students were 5 from the junior high because we were fortunate enough to be granted that waiver, which helped increase our numbers as well as bring awareness of the field hockey program into the junior high. These are the best numbers we've had since I started coaching the program 3 years ago. With all of that going for us, we had a lot of work to do. When you think about the fact that we had 2.5 weeks to prepare for our first game, which included teaching 15 girls how to play the game, the rules, the plays, the drills, and everything that goes along with field hockey so that they were ready to compete at the varsity level, that can be stressful and intimidating. But these girls were ready and willing, and they worked hard every single day at practice. Fortunately, my 6 returning players were a huge help in teaching and guiding our new players. Practice was always full of laughter and hard work, and the girls worked well together, and it paid off. Due to our previous seasons, we were definitely seen as the underdog, but coaches and teams were taken back at how far this team has come and how well the girls played together. I would find myself standing on the sideline during our games and being so proud of how much we have improved game by game. We scored in every single game except 2, and usually with multiple goals. We had 4 shutouts where we didn't allow the other team to score at all. When we were on the losing end of the score, we made it very hard for the other team. We had games where we won 5-0, 6-0, and hard-fought games where we lost just by 1 goal. We even scored on one team who only allowed 3 goals against them all regular season. Small goals equal huge accomplishments, and it showed the other teams in the SEC that we were here to compete. I'm very proud of these ladies and all their hard work and commitment to the team. I'm happy to announce for the 3rd year in a row, Case Field Hockey was awarded the SEC Team Sportsmanship Award. I could not be prouder of them and happier to know that what I see in these girls, the other coaches saw as well. So, with that being said, our first SEC honorable mention goes to a sophomore who's new to the program. During the spring, she had decided she wanted to play field hockey, and she wanted to try to play goalie. Hold on. All right, for myself and the team, that was very exciting because our goalie from last year had graduated and we needed to fill this very important position. Being goalie is a very tough position to play and you need to be confident and hold your own. This young lady worked hard and kept us in a lot of our games with 129 saves for the season. These are awesome stats for a first-year goalie, and I'm happy to announce that the SEC honorable mention goes to Aubrey Carpenter. Okay. This next person is receiving 2 awards tonight. This player was a pivotal part of our offense for the past 2 years. Over the last year, she's grown as a player and seems very comfortable on the field. She's athletic, quick, and a force on the left-hand side of the field. She works tirelessly every day at practice and wasn't afraid to ask questions to better her play. She is by far one of the biggest threats in front of the net in the Field Hockey Conference. I was always comforted knowing that if we could get her in front of the net, she was most likely going to deliver, and that she did with 18 goals and 9 assists. She led the team in points and was the 5th leading scorer in the SEC. She was named a Herald News All-Star, and tonight she is receiving the SEC All-Star as well as one of my coaches' awards. Congrats to Elizabeth LePage. Thank you. All right. These next awards go to a young lady who is very well respected on this team. She is dedicated to the sport and takes time to help and assist the younger players. She's one of our co-captains and was a big help in getting the inexperienced players ready for the season. Excuse me. She plays in the center of our field and is an integral part of almost every play, whether offensively or defensively. She also had 2 very hard-earned goals and 5 assists this year. She always has constructive feedback during our team chats and is a positive teammate. She's a role model on and off the field and someone the team can look up to. And for that, the SEC Sportsmanship Award and my 2nd Coach's Award goes to Gabby Bello. Am I under the 10 minutes? I should be, right? All right, this next player is receiving 2 awards. This young lady was a standout in the defense for our team this year. For the first 3 years of her career, she played center forward, but when asked to try defense for the sake of the team, she did not hesitate. Her defensive play and stick skills were a big part of the success we had this season. She is one of the 2 team captains and provided fierce leadership, guiding a very young and inexperienced defense. When given the chance to play up in the forward line, she scored 3 goals. She's a positive role model on and off the team and someone the team looks up to and respects. She just so happens to be the only senior on the team. So this year we were lucky enough to use the senior game as a day to honor her and all her hard work she put into the team the past 4 years. It's my pleasure to present the SEC Honorable Mention as well as Team MVP to Kylie LeCompte. Thank you.
Please make sure that at the conclusion of the evening, we're going to be taking pictures with our SEC All-Stars, Honorable Mentions, Sportsmanship Awards, Coaches Awards, and Team MVPs. Our friends from the Spectator here that will be taking pictures, and we're going to do that right in the gymnasium as we always do. All right, Mr. Farrell from our golf program is next.
Good evening. Thank you for your attendance tonight to honor all our fall student athletes. Thank you, parents, for your dedication to your student athletes and the Case High School athletic program. I'd like to thank Mr. McCann, Mr. Costa for their support for the golf team this fall. Thank you, friends of the Cardinals, in your dedication to ensure the success of our student athletes on and off the athletic field. And to Mr. Boardman, you're a valuable asset to the athletic program. Also, I'd like to thank our athletic director, Mr. Crisafulli, for all his hard work in making sure that the athletes' and coaches' needs were met. I would also like to say a special thanks to Twisted Country Club here in Swansea. Okay, without them, having a golf team would be almost impossible. And also, I'd like to congratulate all the fall teams this season on the success that they achieved. Like any coach, you have expectations. You never know what to expect from year to year. The 2017 golf team exceeded all expectations. This was the first time in over 10 years that we qualified for the postseason play as a team. I could not be prouder of any team that I've had the honor to coach here at Case High School. Okay? From returning veterans to first-year players, your hard work, commitment to the sport paid dividends. I would like to thank the entire team for a very memorable and fun 2000 fall season. I would especially like to thank this year's seniors, Jake, Tyler, De'Aaron, Brandon, and Will. I've watched you grow over the last few years, and I can truly say that I'm proud of the young men you have become. You exemplify what it means to be leaders and a Cardinal. Next year, we will be a young team, but an experienced team. And all returning players, the bar has been set. The expectation is to improve on what was accomplished this year and make another run at the postseason. For the awards. The team's first coach's award goes to sophomore Zachary Brown. Zachary is a second-year player on the team and someone who has also shown commitment and dedication. Zach is the type of player who wants to play whenever he gets a chance. Zach went from competing in a few matches his freshman year to an everyday player in the lineup his sophomore year, to what I hope is a stalwart and a top competitor over the next 2 years. Zach also exemplifies what it means to be a gentleman on the golf course and in the classroom. Zachary also received an honorable mention as SEC All-Star. Zachary. Yeah, I know. Wait. The team's second coach's award goes to senior Tyler Paquette. Tyler is a 4-year player on the golf team and exemplifies what it means to be a gentleman on the golf course and in life, which is why he is also the team's MIA Sportsmanship Award winner. Over his 4 years as a member of the golf team, Tyler has come a long way from a player on the roster to a starter and a team leader. As a first-year player, he learned to deal with many of the roadblocks in the uncanny game of golf. Over the next 2 years, he improved his game and became a full-time starter by his junior year, and this year, a major competitor to this year's postseason run. Throughout his 4 years, he never showed a negative emotion on the course, either in practice or during a match. I'm very proud of Tyler's accomplishments and the individual he has become. The team MVP goes to senior Jake Machado. Since his freshman year, Jake has been a stalwart for Case Golf. Since his freshman year, he competed in over 70 matches, 4 conference tournaments, and 2 state tournaments, one as an individual qualifier and as the team qualifier this year. In each match this year, Jake played against the toughest competition the other schools had to offer with much success. In 16 matches, he was top overall medalist in 10 matches and finished with the second best score in 3 others. He was a top scorer for the Cardinals in 13 of 16 matches. He was one of the top scorers in the SEC in average in points. All this earned him a spot on the SEC All-Star team. Jake was an honorable mention to this team his freshman year and an All-Star his sophomore year and junior year. He was a Coach's Award recipient his freshman year and team MVP his junior and senior year. I would like to thank Jake for his commitment and loyalty to the team over the last 4 years. Congratulations. Huh?
He deserved it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, and good luck to the athletes as they move on to the next season.
Thank you, Mr. Farrell. Speaking of this season now in the wintertime, we're still looking for student athletes for all the sport offerings that we have. And if you are interested, you can sign up on Family ID. And as usual, if you sign up and register and have an active physical, we can get you out there as quickly as possible. Okay, moving on to our cheerleading program and our co-coaches, Sarah Cavallo and Ashley Mello.
Don't move this back up. Okay. Hi, everyone. We're going to get the important stuff out of the way first and thank everyone who has helped us in achieving such a great season. Thank you, Andy, Mr. McCann, Mr. Costa, for all your support. And of course, we would like to thank Russ Boardman for taking care of our many bumps and bruises this season. Thank you to the football players and coaches for giving us a great season to watch. We would also like to thank anyone who came out to support us at our SEC and regional competitions. It means so much to the girls and to us. A very special thank you has to go out to Mrs. Anu Allerhead, the president of our Cardinal Cheer Booster Club. The Booster Club was created last year to try to raise some funds for the program, and since Anu has taken over this year, we have been extremely successful and not to mention much less stressed. Now I don't know where I was. So thank you, Anu, for all that you have done. Also, a little special thank you to Melissa Monti for cooking all the baked goods every game. They were awesome. Lastly, we want to thank the girls for such a great, memorable season and for the laughs and accomplishments. And we can't forget the parents who brought the girls to practice at 8 a.m. every Sunday. Sorry.
I think the best way to sum up our season is to tell you about our SEC competition, where we're feeling the most confident we have in the girls and the team since we started coaching. The season definitely had its ups and downs like any other, but seeing as we had 8 freshmen on the team this year who had never cheered a day in their life, we were in amazing shape. The morning of competition was hectic, to say the least, from being locked out of the school, running late to get on the bus, showing up at the wrong high school 45 minutes away from the competition. To be honest, we were both like, this is it. They've worked so hard, but this day is just cursed. Well, we got to ORR with 10 minutes to spare. We were the last to warm up, and even as they took the mat, we were still nervous. But The girls proved how resilient they really were. They were not going to let all their hard work go to waste. They got out on the mat and performed their hearts out, as they placed third and moved on to regionals, which was our goal for the season. Regionals didn't go exactly how we hoped. Stakes were high, as they always are, and the competition is intense. But the girls did amazing and rocked it. Not to mention, we received so many compliments this entire season on how far the girls have actually come, and they really have. We could not be any more proud of all their hard work, and we are so excited for the seasons to come, and we are looking forward to triumphs. Now we'll move on to the awards. This year was so hard for us because there is a reason why every single girl on the team deserves an award, but we had to make some decisions.
We're going to start off with the Sportsmanship Award. This goes to a girl who always has a great attitude at practice and games. She's always willing to help out with the younger girls on the team to teach them the ropes. She always has some sort of positivity, whether it's screaming obnoxiously to make everybody laugh or through one of her motivational speeches. She did any position we asked her to do at the drop of a hat without complaining, which is something we really appreciate. We know in her coming season she'll be a great leader. This year's Sportsmanship Award goes to Rebecca Prue. Go this way. Go this way.
Oh, my friend.
I look. Keep going. Thank you.
Our first Coaches Award goes to a freshman. She has never cheered a day in her life, but from the first practice she proved she was ready to work hard, and we could tell right away that she had a natural talent. We have never seen someone with no experience come into cheerleading and try the skills we were asking her to try without fear and hitting them almost perfectly. Even though we are not sure what planet she is on half the time, she is always all ears to ways she can make herself better. These next 3 years, we hope, are going to be full of nothing but potential for her and for the rest of the freshmen. Congratulations, Isabel Geldard.
We went the same way for the hug. Our second Coaches Award goes to a sophomore who has improved tremendously in this last year. She works her butt off every day and has a great attitude. You can literally see how hard she tries by looking at the smile she has on her face. She is always respectful and always looking for areas she can improve on. She takes constructive criticism extremely well and sets an example for everyone on our team. We are so excited to see how else she excels in the coming years. Our second Coaches Award this evening goes to Victoria Camara. No idea. Literally no idea.
Very much. Good job.
Good job.
The MVP this season is for one of our senior captains. She was a pivotal part of this team and played a huge role in teaching all of our new girls the sport. We knew if we needed to figure out what was wrong with a particular stunt, we could put her in any position and she would figure it out. She brings a high skill level to the team and pushes her teammates to be better. She hurt herself the day before our SEC competition, but still pushed through because she didn't want to let her team down. Failing is not an option for her, and we know she will succeed at whatever she chooses to do. Congratulations, Lauren Mello.
Nice to meet you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good job, turd.
Oh, thanks. At last, we are grateful to hopefully have one more season with our two seniors, Olivia Aubin and Lauren Mello. You guys are awesome, and we hope you continue to be. We are looking forward to winter season and can't wait to bring home another trophy. Go Cardinals.
Okay, boys soccer is going to be next. And as I mentioned earlier, our Cabral Cup, we actually just got it returned to us, given to us, I should say, a couple days ago when we put it in the wooden cardinal case out in the main corridor. So on the way out, if you'd like to take a look at it, it's sitting right there. Very proud of that. So without further ado, boys soccer coach Steve Mantega.
Good evening. I'd like to start off by thanking Mr. Christofoli, along with Principal McCann, and Assistant Principal Mr. Costa for having me back for my 4th year as coach of the boys soccer program. Thank you to Coach Mello for a great job with the junior varsity team. And lastly, I'd like to thank the Friends of the Cardinals for all they do throughout the year, and Mr. Boardman for keeping players safe and healthy throughout the season. This was definitely a special season for me, as it was my first graduating class that I've coached here at Case. I'm glad that all my 4-year players who are now seniors stuck with me, as they were a huge part of the turnaround to this program. This team would put in tremendous dedication and hard work throughout the offseason, and it certainly showed come day one at our first team practice. It has been great to see the numbers continue to grow. As a season, we had 36 student athletes sign up for soccer, tripling our numbers from 3 years ago. The boys finished the season 8-6-2, capturing their first ever Cabral Cup and a trip back to the state tournament, which hadn't been done in over a decade. Our JV team also finished the season with an impressive 7-3-1 record. My goal for next year is to continue growing this program and to capture a division title along with another strong tournament run. Moving on to the awards. Honorable Mention Award. Honorable Mention Award is going to a player who could possibly be the future leader of this program. He played in all 16 games of the regular season with a state tournament game as a freshman starter. He displays great skills and has a bright future here at Case. Freshman Colby Campos. Colby, this way. You want to come in that way? That's fine. We come up this way?
Yeah, that's a little bit more room.
All right. My second honorable mention award goes to a player that has played in all 4 years. He definitely saved the best season for his senior year. He was one of our top defenders all season. He was a huge factor in earning Case its first ever Cabral Cup, as he would win every 50-50 ball. He's a respectful young man and very hardworking. Senior Aiden Mello.
Who you got next?
Coach's choice. My second honorable mention award goes to a player that has played in all 4 years. He definitely saved his, I'm sorry, that's Aiden again. That's 2 awards for you, Aiden. My bad. Coach's Choice Award, sorry. The Coach's Choice Award is, this senior defines the word team player. His heart and leadership skills will truly be missed. In his 4 years, he's been asked to play in every position and has delivered. He's receiving a second Coach's Choice Award tonight and is now a 4-time Sportsmanship Award winner. 2-year captain, senior Mackenzie DeShane. Yeah. My second Coach's Choice Award goes to a senior who ran down every loose ball, played a very physical game, and just played hard at all times. He was involved in some of the very big games this season, scoring the game-winning goal to beat Somerset, setting up a goal to beat Bourne, and drawing a PK to grab points away from DR. He's been one of our top strikers these last 3 years, senior captain Eli Geldard.
Eli.
You can go this way.
Bring it in, you. Thank you.
This award is going to a SEC All-Star. This junior finished top 3 in scoring in the last 2 years here at Case. He could easily be one of the top offensive players in SEC moving forward. He's now a first-time South Coast Conference All-Star, and as of this morning, he was named Herald News All-Star. Junior Antonio Luna. MVP award. My last award goes to our team MVP, a 3-time Case MVP, led the league and led the team in scoring for the third consecutive season. Finished second in voting for our league MVP. 3-time South Coast Conference All-Star, first-year All-State team, Eastern Mass All-Star. He's also a 3-time Herald News All-Star. With all these amazing accomplishments, along with the incredible skills he carries, the one thing I will miss most about him is his great personality and his continuous smile he carried while doing what he loved, playing the game of soccer. He will be truly missed in our program, but he will be forever remembered for his great leadership skills, his respectful ways, and his everyday jokes. It has been a pleasure being his coach these past 4 years, and I can't wait to see him play college ball next season. 3-time MVP, senior captain, Skylar Dias. I got choked up, man. And thank you.
Okay, we have a little bit more room than I thought up here, so this runway's open too. All right. Moving on to our next presenter, who I'm sure everyone is looking forward to hearing. Let me just take a look at the clock, Mr. Mitchell. Girls soccer coach, Bob Mitchell.
Oh, no, that cuts into my time. Here we go. I'm going to be the shortest speech of the night. I'd like to thank all of the usual people everyone else does, but let you know why we wouldn't be successful without Mr. McCann and Mr. Costa and all their support. Mr. Christofoli does lots of things behind the scenes, the day before the season started. We probably spent 3 or 4 hours working on the field, and it's things people don't see that he does for us that I really appreciate it. Russ Boardman, we work closely with all the time. The person I count for advice and to mention me in all of his speeches, Mac DeShane, is crossing off. All the fall sports, I want to thank you, but 2 coaches in particular, Jenna Santier and Maggie O'Donoghue, if we can clap for them, come on. It's fantastic to see 2 kids just a few years out of high school coming back and giving to the programs that they participated in. It's one of my favorite things of the season. The football team, I got to thank, we are all Cardinals. All I have to do is leave stuff outside on a sidewalk near my car, and it gets carried wherever it's supposed to go without me asking them. So, guys, I appreciate you, too. On my team, a coach, I did have Mag, you came back for first year, and she was coaching. She was a tremendous help, and we wouldn't have the success we had without her. And also, Kevin Lawton, girls. Kevin! Kevin's a true volunteer. We're lucky to have him. He's helped me a couple years now, and during track season, he'll just show up and score events and then leave without asking for anything. I'm glad to coach with him. If I ever wanted to get rid of him, it'd be easy. You just have to offer to pay him. He won't accept anything. He just does it for his love of Case High School and to be a volunteer. All right, quickly to the season. Season got off to a rocky start through a number of obstacles. We lost a few people who either had jobs or were focused on academics, and we had a few graduate, and we realized we really didn't have anyone that played defense anymore, and we had given up a number of goals the year before. So right away, panic set in with me, but certainly not with the team. This team never got down. It took me a while to adjust to them because nothing matters to them. They didn't get nervous. They all relaxed. I always wanted practice to be more intense, and then finally I just figured out if you can't beat them, join them, and we just ran with it. And we were so successful because of that. Good examples are we were down 2-0 against Wareham. I've never lost to Wareham. And at halftime, instead of giving a motivational speech, it was like, I think we got this. I think we're getting the best of this. We hadn't scored in the whole first half. We needed to score 3 goals in the second half to win. And all the girls were in the huddle just ignoring me and drinking water like usual. It's not funny. They really do it. But they were like, yeah, I think we got this too. So I don't know. That relaxed atmosphere showed up in Fairhaven when we were playing for tournament life. We had lost to them early in the year, and we went down 1-0. We needed a win. We tied it up. And then in the second half, same thing. We said we're going to play to win. We don't care if we lose. We're going to take chances. And then we scored that goal, and we celebrated. It was very exciting until we were ruled offsides and the goal didn't count. And you thought that was our chance. We came so close. They scored again with 3 minutes to go in the game, and we went to the tournament again. All right. In the tournament, we were 5-3-2 in the small school division, and we tied for second place in the SEC small division. So these years we've kind of snuck in. When we play schools our own size, we have a winning record. Our 2 ties against Westport, and they were 10-4-4. I think on a schedule, the teams we played, like 7 or 8 were tournament teams. SEC girls soccer, there's no such thing as an easy game. The way it worked out, when people left, and I'll mention these people individually, I'm like, what are we going to do? I don't have anyone to play defense. And kids said, well, then I'll play it. And we had people really, really step up. And we had an influx of, ORR has an entire freshman team. We had 3. I'll take out 3. They excellent, excellent seasons. Julie, I can't mess those up, and Kate. And they played so well. I talked to them earlier, they're going to be not on stage tonight, but they will be on the stage plenty of times in their career receiving awards. I don't know if you'll remember any of that, but I want you to know it's just such a pleasure to coach this team. It's actually refreshing. We all talk about the grind. It was never a grind. After a long day at work, I looked forward to going to practice every day, and I enjoyed the season so, so much. All right, now to the awards. The first one, SEC honorable mention, is a girl from Atlantis that played for us. She's not able to be here today because she has basketball practice. So I'll make it brief, but I want to give her the attention, recognition she deserves. Girls, it's Amelia Bauer. There you go. Just a great team player. She's the kid that gives you, she doesn't play a lot of minutes, she's happy. She plays a lot of minutes, she's happy. She's always the last one on the field after games, carrying stuff up. Even as a junior senior, if we need someone to be a ball girl, she'd jump and do that. She was just happy to be a part of the team, and she was really invaluable in so many ways. So just one more time, girls, for Amelia. All right, we're going to go to, I'm going to mix it up a little bit because I want to try and get to a couple people last. SEC honorable mention. We're going to start with Meg Borges. She's the one that said, I'll play defense. She didn't realize she's really never played it before, and she became a lockdown defender. She's very coachable. On defense, you don't get much credit. Many people know, play different sports. They kind of only notice when you make mistakes, but it's okay. She doesn't make any. Very, very coachable. And the pregame speech was with Ultimate Sweeper. Her job is to help everyone else but Megan. We tell Meg, you're on an island, you're on your own. You just can't get beat all game. We cannot give you any help. Good luck. And she'd go and play all 80 minutes. I don't think have you ever come out of a game? So in 2 years, she's played 80 minutes every single game. She's one of the top athletes in the school. She's incredibly unselfish. And due to an injury, we needed a few kids to step up. So as a sophomore, she served as captain for a number of games. Meg Borges. I get 10 minutes. Congratulations, honey. I'm so proud of you. There you go, dear. All right, just talk amongst yourself for a minute. We're working something out. A coach's award goes to another sophomore, Ariel Ferreira. She also, as a sophomore, stepped up and helped out serving as a captain while Olivia was injured. She always thinks of the team first. I mean, always. She thinks about it during the summer, what she'd be doing, what kids we can recruit, how can she help other players on the team. She takes responsibility for every goal. She wouldn't even have to be on the field, and she'd say, I think that's my fault. It makes it really easy after we give up a goal. There's never a fighting whose fault it is. She accepts responsibility for everything. She works hard with younger players. She's a talented defender. And even at the end of practice, she says, does anyone need rides home? How are people going to get places? So I really like how she takes charge and it always puts the program first. And she's a kid during the season. She likes to hear other kids get recognition, and she requires so little. So I'm thrilled to give her award tonight. Come on up, Ariel. You're all right. Congratulations, dear. I'm so proud of you. Okay, the next coach's award goes to a senior who came back from an injury in basketball, and she worked so hard. She showed up at summer practices, and she let me know if she couldn't make a practice when she wouldn't be getting cleared for another month. She helped out more inexperienced players, certainly gave input on the sidelines. So before she was on the field being a captain, she was a coach on the sidelines. She was only cleared for the last 4 games. And the first game she was cleared for, she said, don't worry, you don't have to play me. I don't want, she was coming back, she hadn't played forever. She goes, it's okay if you don't play me. I want to make sure the girls win. She has so much character, and she's an excellent student. The problem is it's going to be a little awkward because we're not currently speaking. They give me a card where they all pretend they like me, but not her. So she said, thank you for not only, and I quote, being my coach for 4 years, but for forgetting my birthday. Her birthday was recently, I'm not sure exactly when, obviously. So before she comes up, on the count of 3, can we all say happy birthday, Olivia? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday, Olivia! All right, it's going to be awkward because a mistake on the plaque is the one I'm giving her, so that's not really going to help. Come on up, Olivia. Hey, you're mistaken, you put the wrong name on it, so after this, give this back to me. All right? All right. I think the happy birthday thing you guys did, I think it made it worse. So, on the count of 3, could you just say, I'm sorry, Olivia? 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, Olivia. There was a mistake on a plaque. They put the wrong name, so she's even less happy with me. This could not be going better. Luckily, she's a senior. This next person, I just want to give her the award and not say too much because it's the one time I lost for words. This senior was our captain, and if you read anything in the paper, it would say she's the undisputed leader of the team. She's the face of the girls' soccer team. If I need something to happen, I just say, Autumn, this has to happen. Everyone needs to know this, and it would magically happen. Since her freshman year, she'd make little comments that were very helpful. People talk about what to do. She'd let other people talk, and then she'd say the most insightful thing. I thought she'd be a good captain. That's why she was a captain, but I was wrong. She was a great captain. She's certainly leaving a legacy on the field here. The award, I was really stuck what award to give you, Autumn, because you certainly deserve the Coach's Award for all the things I said. But then you'll say what a nice kid she is, but she's a very, very talented player, and she plays a position where her job is to fix everyone else's mistakes. So if they get beat, it's okay, Autumn's back there. And whenever the ball was in our end, what the coaches would say is, thank God Autumn's back there. Then when I was trying to figure which award to give, I realized to her it really doesn't matter. She's so unselfish, and she always put the team first, so she's someone I'm just going to miss tremendously when she graduates. SEC Honorable Mention, Autumn Medeiros. Congratulations, I'm so proud of you. Really nice of you to say. All right, if I'm doing this right, we're down to the last award, and this person's getting 2 awards. MVP of the team and all SEC. And I don't have a lot written down for her. It's just because I'm running out of things to say about this kid because she does 2 other sports that I coach, and she's just a mainstay on the stage. This might be, she's a first semester sophomore, and I think this might be her 3rd all SEC. She's all Fall River Herald News as well. At the SEC meeting, it's tough. You got to fight for your kids, and that's great. There's 9 other coaches fighting for their kids. And the SEC is an unbelievably talented conference with many of the seniors going on to play college soccer. And you vote, and there's so many kids that get like unanimous and they're automatic, and then you just keep vote and vote until you fill up the team. And I'm always surprised at some of the great players, and some of them will play in college that don't even make all SEC. She went in on the first ballot. She's also Fall River News Herald All-Stars. She was our leading scorer, and she was our forward. And that's important to listen to. She was our forward. Most teams play with 2 forwards. Some can even play with 3. We have a lot of kids that join the team to help out. We have different level of experience, so we had to commit Autumn to play defense. We had an extra defender. Every time she touched the ball, she was in triple coverage, except one, kept 4 or 5 people back just for her, and she still managed to score. I said this, I coach her in track. She's one of the most athletic people I've ever been around. But the best thing is she's coachable and she's very, very tough. There's lots of times she comes out of the game. Why she's coming out of the game, she's stretching, she's trying to work something out so she can get right back on the field and help her team. She doesn't talk a lot, always in the huddles and things like that. She's always thinking, what can I do? What price can I pay to help the team? So MVP and all SEC, Meredith Castro. That's a wrap. Indoor track. Here we go, guys. Get ready.
Thank you, Mr. Mitch. Again, please make sure that if you are an award winner, please stick around so we can, I know George Austin walked in a few moments ago, and he'll be taking pictures for the spectator in our gymnasium. All right, moving forward to our volleyball program and Mrs. Michaela Gonzalez.
It's always tough to follow Mr. Mitchell. But first of all, I'd like to thank Mr. Robidoux, Mr. McCann, Mr. Costa, Mr. Crisafulli for making all of this possible and giving me the opportunity to coach this amazing team. I would also like to thank Mr. Boardman for caring for our many issues from start to finish. His care for our student athletes is something that we do not take for granted. I'd like to extend a big thank you to my assistant coaches, whose commitment throughout the season meant the world to me and to the team. JV coach Taylor Travis, freshman coach Jenna Santier, and our volunteer coach Sam Travis. Your dedication to helping each and every team member as not only good players but good people significantly helps to carry on the culture of this program, and I can't thank you enough for your help with that. Your hours and hours of dedication is a large part of why we are able to create a platform to influence these kids, so please don't ever forget how valuable and priceless your time really was. I'd also like to recognize all of the Case volleyball players who put in a lot of time in the off-season, during the season, to make themselves better teammates and players, working hard every single day. I would especially like to thank those players who consistently gave of their time to do stats, libero tracking, record our games all season. And special thanks to those individuals who had to work really hard during the season when we were short-staffed, and they put the team first. Your time and effort all season was a big part our team was able to accomplish all that it did. Thank you for being a vital part of our program. Having lost 6 impactful seniors last year and only having 2 seniors on the team this year, I started to hear the word rebuilding come up a lot when people would ask me how I felt the season was going to go. And knowing the hard work that all of the players had put in during the off-season, I quickly told those inquiring that the word reloading would be preferred. Surely we were tested, playing most of our regular season matches against Division I and Division II teams. We went to 5 sets against powerhouses, New Bedford and Duxbury, and we came up just short in both of those matches. They were tough losses, but great learning experiences for our team. And we really learned to take everything as learning experiences and use them to become stronger the next day. We had to deal with injuries throughout the year and figure out how to make things work as a team. And I must take time to personally thank the players who were sidelined for injuries, but put the team first by being there and helping in any way they could, even though they were not able to play. I'll share an example. Allie Fieldhauer was unable to play for close to 75% of the season, but she was always one of the first ones to come to practice to help set up. She always volunteered to do the score for freshman and JV games. She went above and beyond in any way that she could, participating constructively in film review, among many other things. She is someone I want younger players to look up to because by selflessly giving of herself, our team became stronger. She set the tone for how all players should act and conduct themselves, especially if you are healthy and able. Do not take one day for granted. Thank you for teaching us that, Allie. So in the end, we finished 17-7. We made it to the South Sectional Finals, where we lost to Bourne for the 3rd time in the season. They were a tough team to beat, and unfortunately, we couldn't find a way to close the deal. But it was a great match. We ended up losing the 4th set, 29-27. You have to win by 2 points. So we definitely made it down to the wire, but came up just short. We grew tremendously as a team. We learned how to function as a family, implemented mental toughness many times to get through obstacles, and persevered when the odds were stacked against us. For the awards, I would like to present the SEC Honorable Mention to a player who made the most of every moment she was on the court. She was a leader who sought to improve every day and worked to be what the team needed from her. She stayed focused and was always willing to communicate with teammates to fix weaknesses. She finished with 384 assists. Congratulations, Nia Young. Our second SEC honorable mention goes to an individual who worked very hard to tweak aspects of her game to better her teammates. She improved tremendously throughout the season, especially with communication and leadership. She finished with 291 assists. Congratulations, Jamie Travis. The next player being recognized is an SEC All-Star, a Herald News All-Star, and was named to the Division III All-State team. This player quickly realized how important it was for her to develop leadership skills, and she worked very hard to do that. She hopped into a very important role for us this year and usually had to hit against our opponent's bigger blockers. She worked hard every day to turn her weaknesses into strengths, but more importantly, she supported her teammates always. Congratulations, Michaela Bushell. Teams cannot function without selfless players who realize their value does not solely rely on if they play or how much they play, but rather on what they can do for their teammates and the program as a whole. We had many players that exhibited those qualities on a daily basis, putting the needs of their teammates first, bringing the same energy and passion to the gym every day no matter what. The player who was receiving our sportsmanship award was that player day in and day out. She was always in tune and focused during practices and games, and always had feedback to give during timeouts or team meetings. This player's attitude and positivity never changed whether she was playing or not. She put her teammates first every single day, and she shared her heart and passion with the team in so many ways. Her positivity brought a light to our team that I am so grateful for. Thank you for your selflessness, and congratulations to Kristen Anselmo. Okay, one of my coaches' awards is going to a player who was one of the most versatile players I've ever coached. She changed positions multiple times because I needed her to, and she always put 100% into learning the new position, never asking why, just doing it because she knew it would be best for the team. She is humble, respectful, selfless, positive, the list goes on and on. She is the quickest person I know to get down and get back up and be ready for the next play. She always went above and beyond to make sure practice and games were set up and taken down properly. She took constructive criticism. She knew how to give criticism to her teammates as well. She truly cares about others, and it shows. A true role model on and off the court. We are very lucky to have a gem like you. Congratulations to Rachel Davidson. My second coach's award goes to a player who is well respected by her peers because of how well she can connect to others. She's kind, passionate, smart, and selfless. She understands what it means to be a good teammate, coming close to losing her voice every match with how loud she'd cheer for her teammates. She was always eager to learn and work to fix her weaknesses each day. She was a leader who understood that the strength of the team is each individual member, and she made it a goal to bring out the best in those around her. She would never hesitate to throw her body on the floor to pick up a ball because she truly operated with a do-whatever-it-takes mentality. Her peers elected her captain because it speaks volumes of what she means to them, and she was just elected as a Herald News All-Star. Congratulations, Maddie Medeiros. And our final individual receiving awards has been a tremendous asset to our team since her freshman year. Now a senior, it's difficult to imagine the team without her. Her first year at Case was my first year as head coach, so I've been able to watch her grow while coaching her the past 4 years. She made an incredible improvement in her ability to stay positive in the face of adversity. She stepped up to be there for her teammates when they needed her. She's a go-getter, and she diligently worked until she accomplished what she set out to accomplish. Her work ethic and compassionate nature made her very successful. She's the most talented all-around player that I've ever coached, reaching 3 milestones this season that is extremely rare for any high school volleyball player to achieve. She accumulated over 1,000 digs, 500 kills, and over 300 aces. She's an extremely scrappy and smart player, and her shoes will be really, really hard to fill next year. This season, she led the team in aces, kills, service receptions, and digs. She's an SEC All-Star, a Herald News All-Star, and a Division III All-State selection. We call her Berg. Congratulations, Haley Arnberg. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Coach. Before we bring up our last presenter of this evening, at the very beginning of each season, varsity coaches share with their student athletes the criteria for what they have to achieve in order to receive a varsity letter. Those individuals who will be receiving varsity letters will not only receive a letter with the sport sewn in, but will also receive a pin that they can later use on their varsity jacket. Now, in that same theme for varsity jackets, I need to be very, very clear because I know there's been some confusion. There are, in order to achieve or earn a varsity jacket, you have to complete 6 seasons, and you have to have a minimum of 2 varsity letters. Now, I will be ordering the next batch of varsity jackets next Friday. So if you achieved any of that criteria between now and next Friday, I need to see you. All right, so please make sure that you touch base with me. If your name is on the board, I order them. I know that there has been quite a few individuals over the last year or so that have achieved all of those requirements, but have never come down to speak about it. So please make sure that you do not make that mistake. Please see me. All right. On to our final presenter, who we have quite a few awards. We'll also be inviting a gentleman on stage to present our football MVP from Post 303, and I'll introduce him in a second. But without further ado, Mr. Anthony Palladino.
Good evening. Make sure to keep this quick so we can all get out of here. First off, I'd like to thank Mr. Robidoux, Mr. McCann, Mr. Coster, Mr. Christofoli for all their support. Mr. Boardman for everything he does for us on a daily basis. We have daily meetings together, and I wouldn't be able to do what I do without him. I'd also like to thank my coaching staff who's there every day. I'm probably not the easiest guy to work for, so I appreciate them being there every single day. Jay Agile, Matt Lockwood, Grant Hayter, Todd Netto, my father, Al Palladino, and Joe Martin are there every day, and they support me. We wouldn't be successful if I didn't have them. I wouldn't be able to be successful if I didn't have them either. So anything we do as a staff together, and that's nice. As far as the season went, we started off very well. Came out the gates 4-0, playing very well. We kind of hit a tough spot in our schedule. Took some hard losses, and I thought we started to play better towards the end of the year. We ran into a couple of opponents who we were outmanned and outmatched against. Obviously, you know, going into Thanksgiving, you always want to win Thanksgiving. We've been lucky enough the last 3 years to go into Thanksgiving with at least 5 wins, which I think is something to be said for where this program was a few years ago. And we came up a little bit short on Thanksgiving this year, but anybody who was at that game knows that I think the gap is closed between the 2 schools, and hopefully next year we can push through that wall and we'll get that W on Thanksgiving next year. Going right into the awards, the first award I'm going to give out is a coach's award. I'm going to do this first because I don't think this individual is here. Our first coach's award is also the sportsmanship award for the South Coast Conference. This player is a senior for us. He's played for 4 years. He came back this year from a pretty gruesome injury that happened over the summer. And for him to miss only 2 games and come back, in my coaching career, I've never handed out a game ball. And we played a game at Bourne this year, and it wasn't that he had a great game. He ran for 150 yards, and but what he brought to the team that day, and I probably am not doing it justice just explaining it, but the way we felt and the way the kids responded and the lift that we got as a team, just watching him do what we've seen him do for 4 years, It's been special. So the Coach's Award, I don't believe he's here. If he is, I'm sorry, I can't see him. Jeremy Tibitot. The next award is a South Coast Conference All-Star. This player plays many different positions for us, offensively and defensively. He does a lot. He's our big play threat. Anytime he catches the ball in his hands, there's a chance to do damage. This year he had 9 rushing touchdowns. He had 6 receiving touchdowns. He also stepped up big time on defense, which is something I'm sure he doesn't love to do, but he does it because we ask a lot of him, and he does a heck of a job doing it. He finished the year playing some of the best football I've seen him play in his last 3 years. His last 3 games, I thought he played very well. I thought he played tough, and that's going to be big for him going forward because he's a big part of what we're doing and who we are. South Coast Conference All-Star Chris Costa. Our next is also a South Coast Conference All-Star. This player, once again, was a junior captain for us. He got his first taste of some varsity football a couple years ago down in Bourne, and he played the second half of the game that got rained out, and he hasn't left the field yet since that day for us. He's a leader for us. He's an emotional leader for us. Defensively this year, he had 104 tackles, was our leader on defense. He's our leader in the huddle offensively. He does a lot of the dirty work. He had 5 touchdowns this year as a fullback. He opens up big holes. We expect a lot from this kid going forward. South Coast Conference All-Star Ty Kudo. Next award is the Case High Gridiron Club Award. This is given to a player every year who I think embodies Case football, does everything on the field, off the field. He's someone that we look at, that if we wanted to emulate what we could do for Case football, this is that person. This person for us, once again, has been a starter for the better part of 3 seasons. Came to us a little bit late, a couple weeks deep in the school year, his freshman year. He stepped in and played his freshman year towards the end of the year in the non-playoff schedule, and he's been a consistent player for us, and he's really changed. He's gotten better every single year. He's a kid that we're definitely going to miss. Riley Dos Anjos. All right, this next is a 2-part award. It's an award that we give out every single year here, dating back well before my time as a Jimmy Ashley Lineman of the Year award. This player is a junior offensive and defensive lineman. He also won a South Coast Conference honorable mention. He anchored an offensive line this year that averaged 195 yards a game. We ran for over 2,100 yards this year. He not only was an emotional leader for us up front, he's a kid that a lot of kids will follow each and every week. He's a big part of what we do, and we wouldn't be where we are without him, and that's Isaac Tucker. Next award is a Coach's Award. This player, once again, has been a big player for us now for the better part of 3 seasons. I believe he's played here for 5 back before I was, when the 8th grade had a waiver. He plays a lot of different positions for us. He's incredibly talented, incredibly athletic. I probably don't do a good enough job as a coach getting him the ball, and I make no bones about that. but he does what we ask him to do. He doesn't complain. He shows up every day. He works hard. We kind of go as he goes. You know, there's times where I would tell him, you know, he had a bad practice, and we would all be, like, the whole team would be miserable because he had a bad practice. And then when he was great and he was up and his positive attitude, it was like a different world. And he's a kid that we relied on. We're definitely going to miss him, and that's Kyle Kohler.
Okay, I'd like to invite up to the podium Mr. Alan Fenley from the Swansea Post 303. Mr. Fenley played in the early 60s. He is an inductee in our Athletic Hall of Fame. Mr. Fenley, please come on up.
So our MVP award goes to a player who, you know, anybody will tell you that plays for me that you have to have pretty thick skin. You know, if you have a bad day, I'm going to tell you about it. Even if you have a good day, I'm probably going to tell you it was a bad day. And I ride kids pretty hard. So you have to have thick skin, and I hope that translates to them, you know, being able to deal with adversity later in life. And over the last 4 years, I've probably given this kid more crap than anybody, to be honest with you. He's played for 4 years. You know, I kind of relate my time here to him, as we both came in here, and he was a freshman at the same time. He's done a lot of great things for us. He's been predominantly a defensive back. His freshman year, I remember we played a game against Apponequet. To say we were getting killed would be an understatement. You know, and we put him in the fire his freshman year, and the first 3 plays, he lit the best running back in the South Coast Conference that year as a freshman. And from that day on, I knew that kid was going to be a stud for us. He's a dude. We asked him this year to move to a different position, something he's never done before. And I think I told him he was bad at it every single day. But every single day he showed up to get better. You know, he ran for, you know, he counted for over 1,400 total yards. He ran for 11 touchdowns. He threw for 6 touchdowns. He did an admirable job playing a position he never played before. You know, he was our leader. You know, he's feisty, he's strong, he's competitive. You know, he's a kid that we're definitely going to miss both on the field and off the field, and our MVP is Devin Prue.
Thank you, Mr. Fenley. All right, before we wrap this evening up again, please make sure that if you're an award winner, you report to the gymnasium, and we want to get those pictures going right away. Secondly, if your coaches have letters and pins, I think I have it all right, but I've known to be wrong before, so if I owe anyone anything, please come see me tomorrow. Other than that, I appreciate your attention and your attendance tonight. I wish you all a Merry Christmas, and hopefully we'll see you at some events this winter. Thank you.